Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my community show. So I spent a little while since I got to do that because, I've been recording the story for my community show this week, or these past few weeks, and oh my God. I'm a little disappointed in the reception of it because the first one got 4 views and the other 2 after that didn't get any views at all other than me. But come October 31st, the Halloween day, I'm going to be posting a compiled version of all 3 of them and all 3 of the parts into what will be my Halloween special. And I do hope that some of y'all go and watch that because it'll be great. I worked really hard on it, got to have fun with the audio and whatnot, and playing with tuners and whatnot to adjust everything. I know it's not a video game, which this is a gaming channel, but at the same time it's like I kind of wanted to do a good Halloween show, So hopefully you guys will watch that and enjoy it. But man, coming to the end of October, I am kind of relieved. I always overwork myself in October, but it's good to be coming to the end. Apart from that, I don't really know too awful much what I want to talk about in this video. I've always been a fan of the dark and horror stuff, It may not be my favorite holiday. It may not be up there. My favorite holiday is always going to be Thanksgiving. But October, Halloween always has a special place in my heart because of the horror aspect to it. And I love when we all get together and can enjoy the spooks and the spookiness and the horror aspects and everything. And I started a couple years ago when I started writing horror stories for Halloween. I've always been a fantasy sci-fi type of guy, a guy who writes fantasy and sci-fi. And so branching into horror was a little bit of a sidestep for me. It was different and new, and I kind of had a lot of fun writing it. I think the first one I put out was my my zombie story, which was a lot of fun to do, and involved a lot of people I knew, well, names of them anyway, and in my family and whatnot, and it was great having us, being able to just kind of write a story for everybody. Something to throw out there for everybody to read and enjoy, and there was a good reception to it too, and I was kind of impressed and proud of it. But it also awakened in me something that I never expected to have happen, and that was a love of writing horror. This year is probably going to be the first year when I fail to get a Halloween story out. And honestly, it's due to writer's block, which has been kicking my butt up until the beginning of this week. I started 2 different stories that I was writing. The first one, they were both stories that I've started before, and I'm like, I can turn these into something. I can make them art. But in both cases, the stories, I just got into them and I'm like, I don't know where I'm trying to take this. I don't know where I'm going with this. And I hate that. I hate it so much. And so after I started the first one, I wrote up a couple of pages in it, and then I was just like, this isn't going anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere out of this. So I started a second story, which was another story I'd worked on before, and same thing happened. I started asking myself those same questions. Where am I going with this? What do I want with this? Why is this story? What is this story? And it just fell apart, and I was like, dang it. I need a story. And I kept trying to write. it. And then I was reminded of a story I started as a kid, as a teenager, that I worked together. I had started writing, but I had stopped writing it, not because I didn't know where it was going, but because it was incredibly dark and scared me. And I figured, I'm an adult. I'm much more, mentally broken, but no, also more flexible and whatnot and understanding of it. So I was like, I will try this story again. And I started writing it again, and immediately getting past the first part of the story, oh God, I felt dirty. I felt horrible. And I wrote it and I'm like, why is my brain working this way? But at the same time, I was enjoying it because it was fake, obviously. It's just a story, and it was really delving into the insanity of the character. And I was like, ugh. And then we move on into it, and I'm starting to factor in a lot of stuff that I've learned as an adult, things I've learned through, like, going to school to be a nurse, studying law enforcement, all sorts of stuff like that. I've been kind of incorporating that into the story. And I definitely feel like this story could have been good when I started writing it the first time, but now it's like, ooh. Now it definitely feels like it's the right time to write this story. Sad part is, I know I'm not going to finish it by Halloween. So this is going to be the first year when I don't have a Halloween story out, and I'm kind of upset at myself about it. Kind of upset about myself. I have a lot of other different stories in mind that I can use, but at the same time, nothing I can write in a week. Nothing I can finish by October 31st, because we've only got 6 days left, and I'm only halfway done with that story if I don't intend to drag it out as long as I can. I can try to finish it by October or by Halloween, but the worst part is I started early this year thinking I will get a jump start on everything so I don't have to feel rushed. Fail. Boom, 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 boom. However, as far as, horror aspects and everything is concerned, I'm still really loving it, It's like October, November, I tend to always overwork myself because I try to squish in new things to my schedule. Speaking of which, I'm going to go back to the 2 and 4 upload schedule because honestly, it opened up a lot of freedom during the day. It opens up a lot of schedules so I don't have to feel rushed to get everything out by 12. And then at the same time, I'm already done with my workday when I upload the second video. So it's like, I like that schedule. That schedule really works out for me. Apart from that, I finished Soma. I finished friggin' Canarium, and now I've got 2 episodes left of Stories Untold. So I'm actually out of horror games for the month. I picked these 3 because I figured they would last me till the end of the month, and I was so close. So close. Just have 3 days left that I need to find content for. Technically 2, half of Monday, half of Tuesday, and then all of Wednesday. And so annoying. But that's okay. I can find something to do. I know there's a couple of games out there that I could probably, ham fist into a series real quick. Ham fist. I don't want to say ham fist. Ham. But that's all I've got for you today. I just wanted to catch up with y'all because, I haven't done the community show in 3 weeks, and it's great to be back. Next week will be November 1st, and finally done with October and everything, and we'll be moving back to the regular schedule and getting back onto things. I'll have my stream of consciousness video upload. I'll try to do a reaction video, and moving into my favorite holiday season, which is Thanksgiving for Americans. Because I know not everybody, friggin' Canada's already celebrated their Thanksgiving. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of The Community Show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, please go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Oh, and I can if I can. You know all that jazz. And tune in next time. Next week as we talk about something else. Probably my birthday. But anyway, until then, good night.